Hello, my name is Kim Dawson. I am the high school guidance counselor at Union City High School. I am the counselor for grades 9 through 12, and I have been working as a guidance counselor for 27 years. This is my 28th year.
What makes a good guidance counselor?
Everyone approaches things differently, guidance counselor, and what makes you a good guidance counselor, I think you have to have some ability to be intuitive about people's needs. You have to definitely be someone who's patient and listens to what other people need first before you're jumping in with what they need to do. You also do have to be, though, a leader and be able to make decisions and say, well, this is what we're going to try for right now. You can't hesitate. You don't have the time to do that.
How many students are in your caseload?
I have about 350 students on my caseload. They are grades 9 through 12. Because I am the only guidance counselor for the high school, I have all responsibilities. So I do IEPs, I do scheduling, I work with the tech school, I work with the college RCI program, I do all the career counseling and the SAT college prep advising. So pretty much anything that students in 9 through 12, academic concerns, struggling, I do all of that.
How many other counselors are in the school district?
We have middle school and high school in this building, so we are a building that's 6 to 12, and we have a middle school counselor who's here for the students in grades 6, 7, and 8.
Describe a typical work day.
I would say that there's no such day as a typical day, and you probably find that everywhere. First of all, you deal with whatever comes in the door, so whatever is present in front of you, or a phone call, or an email, you're dealing with that immediately. Then you have a set series of tasks, things that you need to get done, scheduling field trips, scheduling student meetings to talk about career plans, those kind of things. So different times of the year there's different things, like right now we're beginning school, we're doing a lot of schedule changes. I will be starting to meet with the seniors to review their credits and talk about what their plans are.
Besides your regular job, what other duties do you have?
As a guidance counselor, you are there to support the administration, the teachers, so sometimes they need me to cover some duties. I've had lunch duty in the past. It depends on how many staff we have. If we're shorthanded and they need me in there, then that's what I do. I've had quarters of assignment for that. Typically, I don't have a lot of other things because I'm usually here from early till late working on just the normal things. I have done student council and prom advisor just because those are things. I like to be involved with the students on different levels. So I've been involved in that, not as a guidance counselor, but just as part of the school.
How many meetings do you have, and when are they normally scheduled?
The kinds of meetings I could have vary. I could be meeting sometimes with administrators to talk about certain concerns that they have about students or that type of thing. We have a ESAP program, a student assistance program. I sit on meetings for that. That's a regularly scheduled meeting. I also sit in on all the IEPs for the high school students to add my supports to that. If I have a parent call and want a meeting, if we can do that during the day, that's fine. If they're not available, then I will be staying after school because I need to meet with the parent to resolve the issues. So they could be during the day, they could be after school, depending on the needs.
How does the elementary, middle school, and high school guidance counselors work together?
I mean, certainly the guidance counselors at every level are quite different. The elementary counselor, his duties are much different from the high school counselor in that my students are older. They're preparing to transition from high school out to either workforce or to post-secondary education. So, and of course they're driving and they have relationship issues and a lot of different issues where younger students, they may have just issues about getting food and clothes and getting to bed on time and having someone help with their homework. The middle school, there's a lot of peer conflicts.
When does a guidance counselor's school year begin and end?
Of course, we have to be here before school because we do the scheduling and we're preparing students, new students who are coming in. We have to meet with them and give them tours of our school and help them define their courses and welcome them. And so we have to prepare well before we start school, teachers' class lists and making sure everything's set up for that. So we work about a week before. And then at the end of school, we have to prepare the students for summer school and get letters out for things that were failed. And then we work on the scheduling extra in the summer because there's not a lot of time during the school year. So I have I have an 11-day in addition to the teacher's contract, so I think it's a 195.
Are the counselors on the same salary schedule as teachers?
The counselors are on the same salary schedule as the teachers, but we do have additional days that we work, so we're paid prorated on the extra days that we work. In addition to that, we are part of the teachers union, which as a guidance counselor, I wouldn't have it any other way. I wouldn't want to be in an administrative level because we have the protection of the union and all of the things that come with that.
What changes have you seen and what do you see in the future?
You know, over the 28 years I've been a guidance counselor, some things have stayed a lot the same, a lot of things have changed. Currently in Pennsylvania, there's a lot of focus on assessments and meeting certain levels of standards, particularly with our Keystone Algebra 1, the literature, the biology. Spent a lot of time trying to get all students to be proficient on this, and we go through a lot of placement into courses and remediation and retesting. So we're focusing a lot on that more than we ever have in the past.
How open is your staff to other programs such as peer mediation?
I think in our building, there's a pretty good rapport between the guidance counselors and the teachers. I think that the teachers realize if the students are having some issues that need resolved, that they're going to be more successful in the classroom setting. We try not to pull them out any more than we have to, and I'm really cognizant of doing it at the very beginning or the very end of class. If I cannot interrupt, I try very hard to do that. Sometimes we cannot help that. And the students do get called down here to meet with our talent search career prep program. They could be meeting with one of the counselors or with us. There could be a variety of reasons why they're coming to the guidance office, but we try to be respectful of the teacher's time.
What is the role of the guidance counselor when special needs kids are involved?
I'm part of the IEP team, and my job is to, particularly when students are making sure they're being successful academically in their classes, that may be being successful at the tech school, getting the supports that they need. So a lot of times they have social and emotional needs.
What programs or procedures do you have when dealing with a death or tragedy?
Actually, we're very fortunate. We have a mental health counselor that's here for longer term. She meets with students here and after school hours and even in the summer. We have a SAP counselor and a drug and alcohol counselor that are here to help with students. We work as a team together to support when there's been death, particularly if it's a student. If it's a student who's, you know, a grandmother or a close person has, we're going to talk with them and let them know that we're here for the support as much as they're comfortable with, and then we may be talking with them or their parents about some community supports that they could have. So teachers are made aware through email privately, just to, you know, that the student may be struggling with some things and to give them some time to adjust.
How would you deal with a difficult parent?
Really what I try to start with is listen to what the parent is telling me and try to really hear where they're coming from. Then I try to clearly explain, you know, how this works in our setting and like what are the rules and what are the guidelines that we have to work with, and try to come to a consensus. I really try to let them know that our interest is the student, and it really is to help the student to the best we can, and their interests and my interests are the same. We're not coming from different perspectives.
What is a 504 plan?
A 504 can be for a physical disability. It could be a lot of different things. It might be a diabetic and they need a 504 because they need to have some adaptations in their day where they making sure that they're eating at certain times, or they need to be. So there's a lot of reasons why we do 504s, but they are definitely similar but different from the IEPs.
Do you take issues that you face home with you?
You know, as a guidance counselor and having been a counselor for so many years, I mean, this is my job, and I love what I do, and I really feel like it's a mission of mine to help students as much as possible. So while I'm here, I'm doing as much as I can. My time, I work a lot of extra hours to make sure what things are done, but when I go home, it's my home time unless there's a crisis. So,
do you have experience with outside agencies?
We work extensively with the community. I'm also involved with, we have a community service program. So we have some of our interns or seniors that do part-time, go into the community and help the Family Support Center, the Salvation Army, food bank, different places that need help. So we are often working with other agencies and trying to connect the schools to the community.